Silicon Valley HR Summit and Awards 2023.
So for the next presentation, we're going to have one more guest, that is Mr. Karan Verma, CEO, Bridge Health. So we are thrilled to introduce Mr. Karan Verma. So Mr. Karan Verma is a visionary leader in corporate health and wellness management with a proven track record of transforming workplace well-being. Mr. Verma is the CEO of Bridge Health, a trailblazing company at the forefront of employee health initiatives. Join us as Mr. Verma shares his invaluable insights on corporate health and wellness management. His expertise promises to redefine the way we approach employee well-being, fostering healthier, happier, and more productive workforces. Get ready for a deep dive into the world of corporate health and wellness with Mr. Karan Verma. Give me a huge round of applause, everyone. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. I promise you it's not going to be a deep dive, okay? 15 minutes, and we're going to try and keep it that. This is more about introducing the concept and what we are, but also sharing a few insights about what we've learned working with HR leaders like yourself, right? Let's talk about, in the last 20, 25 minutes, we've spoken about what happens if you fall ill. And there's a lot of support system for you to do that, right? Reimbursements and stuff like that. Let's talk about how to keep you healthy. Can we do that? Let's also talk about how to keep you healthy. Let's talk about longevity. What do you think when you think of longevity, when you hear the word longevity? What do you think when you hear longevity? The topmost or two things? She's going to write a book about this. One thing? What do you think when you think of longevity? Long life. Long life. Anyone else? Everyone agrees? What do you think when you think of longevity?
Not falling ill.
Not falling ill. Okay. Are these two things the same? Long life and not falling ill? Are they the same? Tough to? Tough to be doing both, right? You have to age. There's no way to not age. Healthy habits, that's a fantastic point, right? So there are two dimensions to longevity when you think of longevity. And there's a beautiful book written by Dr. Peter Attia about this. If you get an opportunity, it was launched this year, called Outlive, right? Possible to do so. So there are two dimensions really you look at, and one is lifespan, as you said. Someone said number of years, right? That's absolutely important. But there's another dimension. Do you want to be 70 years old or 65 or 75 and be dependent on someone? Or be so chronically ill that you go 4 times to the ICU, even if you get reimbursement for it? That's not what you'd want to be, right? You want to be healthy. So Bridge Health is all about saying, how do we get you to look at the various factors for longevity, and how do we keep you healthy? And we believe, our founder, Chris Gopalakrishnan, who is one of the founders of Infosys, he's looked at the healthcare system globally, and he said, listen, we are going the US way and the Europe way. We cannot have our entire healthcare system only coming into play when you fall ill. We got to have a healthcare system which keeps you healthy, right? So that's what we are here all about. So the other dimension is called health span. So you got to look at lifespan and health span both, right? What does health span mean? There are 4 defined zones. You can call it red, yellow, orange, or you call it, the zone of super fit. We are all born super fit, hopefully, right? Unless we have some genetic conditions, very, very rare. But otherwise, we are born super fit. And we continue to be fit, hopefully, during our teenage and early years up till 25. And then work kicks in, right? And you have 8, 10 long hours. You're trying to prove yourself and all of that. Even when you're 40, you're still functional, right? When I ask people, have you ever done a health check, for example, they say, no, 3 years back, I was all fine. How often does your metabolism change? How often does your metabolism change? Never given a thought about it. It's changing every minute, right? Right now, you've had your delicious lunch, and if you've had a few desserts too, the insulin in your body is fighting to bring your glucose level back to normal right now. And if someone measures it, you'll probably come out diabetic or pre-diabetic right now, at this moment. But then 2 hours later, you're probably going to be fine. Your body's been able to manage. So your metabolism is changing every hour, every minute, right? And that's what it's about. It's about being aware and saying, listen, I can, and diabetes doesn't happen suddenly, cancer doesn't happen suddenly. It happens gradually. Every day that we don't take care of our health, we are moving towards that, right? So you want to be in the zone of being fit and functional, even when you're 65, 70, right? So the curve typically that looks right now, with all the insurance support and the healthcare support, looks a bit like this, right? You're super fit in the initial years, you're still fit, you're still functional, and then comes a time, 55, 60 plus, when you start getting into the zone of frailty. You're more often into ICUs, you're losing consciousness sometimes, you're starting to know that something is wrong with you, and that's when you know that you should have taken care of your health when? 15 years back, when it's a little too late, right? So we're here to try and create a different curve, and this is what is called as reactive care, and you need it, right? When you're sick, you need reactive care. So we're not saying that's not needed, but you can change this curve and have a curve like this, where you spend many, many more years being functional and fit rather than being in the zone of frailty, right? So that's what we're all about. Now, how do you do this? What's the way to do it? I just showed you a quick view. There's 6 things you can do, but yeah, let's hear. Lifestyle. Lifestyle is a mega term, so she's going to write a book, I tell you. Can you deconstruct that for me? You're right.
Yeah, so as we are IT professionals, we have our lifestyle has completely changed when it comes on being active, going for walk. Also now, I see many people, they have started this gym and all. But yeah, it's all about lifestyle, how you manage your...
Right, so lifestyle is food, lifestyle is being active.
Correct.
What else can you do? Working out consistently, physical activity.
Mental health.
Mental health, extremely important. If you're working out and you are stressed, if you don't know how to manage stress, you're actually building up your cortisol levels, right? So you can actually be sick. So both are important, great. So mental wellness, what else? Anything else? So if you get many of people are from IT, if you get a code and you have to write over it, what do? What's the first thing you say? Let me understand if this code is right, right? What's wrong with this code? What's right with this code? And then you're going to write and build over it. So you got to do your current health check to understand. How many of you give your car regularly for maintenance checks? Okay. When have you done your last health check for yourself? 2 months back. Awesome. How about you? December. Okay, not bad. Within a year. Anyone who's not done within the last 1 year? Okay, there seems to be a strong correlation between car maintenance and self-maintenance. That's great. How many people here have not done a health check for the last 1 year? Okay, 1, 2. How many have not done for 2 years? I will not ask further. Right? Listen, your metabolism is changing every hour, and we are not even checking our diagnostics in 1 year or 2 years, right? So we've got to be doing that. So there are 6 factors to look at. What's my current health status? Please do checks and don't just do what is being given free. You may have to do a lot more depending on your age. We actually classify into 5 different clinical groups based on age, and we suggest appropriate tests depending on your age and also your current metabolic health, right? So current health check, but that may not be enough. Today, let's say my lipid levels are totally fine, my HbA1c for the last 3 months is totally okay. Does it mean I'm totally fine? I could potentially have risks for the next 3 to 5 years. So the number 2 is you got to have a wellness company which can help you identify risks over the next 3 to 5 years. You've heard people who've apparently fit, going to a gym regularly and suddenly collapsing, right? That's because they had future risks that they were not able to understand. So you got to have a wellness company which can help you with that. Number 3, you need a really good, if you've done your health checks, those who've done the health check, right? How much time did your doctor spend with you after the reports were out, and especially if nothing was wrong? 15 minutes? That's pretty good. I've had 2 minutes to 5 minutes as the answer, especially if it's a super specialist, right? You are not really being told what needs to happen with you. right? So you need a guide who's a guru, if you will, clinical guru, who can really make you understand what's wrong. It's not just about okay, not okay, right? So clinical guidance is needed. Number 4, nutrition, which you already spoke about. What you eat is who you are, right? The sequence in which you eat is also important. What you eat is important and it's personalized. Number 5, exercise. Different things work for different people. How many of you here have never been to a gym at all in the last 3 years? No shame. Great. Okay, so we've got 2 people. Not been to a gym 1 year plus. Okay, not having done any structured physical activity for the last 1 year. Right? Few. Now, exercise is one of the biggest predictors of longevity besides mental wellness. These are 2 very, very important factors. So you need a company which can bring this together. And then you also need to look at sleep and stress. You can be eating right, you can be exercising, and yet, if you're not mentally managing stress and sleep well, sleep is the other big predictor. If you're grabbing 4 hours of sleep and thinking, you're doing a great job and you can manage, no. That sleep lost will never ever come back, right? So, as an organization, we help you look at all of these factors and create a wellness program. Part of it could be funded by the company, part of it may be funded by the employees themselves, right? So we call it the Flex program. Now imagine you've known all of this and you've created a great wellness program for your employees. How many of you have some kind of a wellness program in your organization? Raise your hands, please. Some kind of a wellness program, either a health check or some kind of health camps being done, right? 50%. Okay? Now imagine the ones who don't have yet. And you create something. You're excited after this presentation, say, listen, we got to go something and create it. And the response that you get from your employees is something like this, right? Agree? How many agree? They totally agree. They're like, yeah, absolutely. Why do you think that happens? What do you think? What's your diagnosis? Priorities, right? So priorities, what else?
Sometimes after getting into ambulance only we know the conscious of it, or when you get a toothache only then we know I need to be careful about it.
So the pain is not there, right? Don't fix what's not broken. But it's breaking a little inside every day, right? And you're not, so that's a great point. So one of the things we've realized is that give some flexibility to your employees. Out of those 6 factors, different employees may be trying to do different things. First, get them to do what they're trying to do. Now, you can't create a comprehensive program which covers everything for everyone with company money. But you can create components that you're funding and components that they want to buy themselves and make it available. They're spending 2/3 of their time and they're feeling a bit like this, right? They're spending 2/3 of their lives or sometimes more in the organization. So it's not just about the money or investment that the company can do. What we've realized is if you can bring care to them as much as possible. And I'll give you examples of how we are enabling. For example, women after 35 should be getting a breast screening done, right? Now that's ionizing radiation and it's not very convenient. You have to go set up, spend time. We've got a device like this that we can actually, it's a portable device and it's AI enabled. And I can do a screening right in the office if you give me a room, right? And a lot of women, and we do this in the communities, residential community as well. And they are thankful to us because they've been postponing this for years. So you got to bring care closer to them in the offices. And by the way, it's a great opportunity to bring them back to office, right? Because most of them are trying to work from home. So a device like this can help. There's another technology. Many of them are scared of needle. So how do you bring about that pain you mentioned, right? That they're not feeling the pain. I have a thermoanalytics camera here. I can click a 1-minute video of yours and it'll give me with a AI report, it'll give me 3 risks of yours. Future risks, remember. Right now if I do your blood test, it may be normal. But your future risks for type 2 diabetes, dyslipidemia, which is high lipid levels in your body, and hypertension. And if that comes out to be not okay, that could trigger a change in you, right? So there are ways and means today available, combination of devices, technology, and mindful companies like us who are trying to bring this all to you. And so please look at partnering and trying to bring these. And I have kept my pointer somewhere else, so please give me a minute. Okay, there it is. Right, so I think poverty of money is not the only issue in India. It's a poverty of time, especially in urban India, that you got to solve for, ensure discovery, and we can help you plan that. And then we've realized that if you can make it a day, right? I mean, despite the fact that companies are organizing health checks, etc., funding it for the employees, 5,000 rupees, 10,000 rupees per employee, and yet only 25% or 20% at best are availing it. It's like literally I've kept 10,000 rupees here, you're saying I don't want it, right? Why is that happening? Because again, time, prioritization, all of that. You can make some social forces work. When I am in the office and I'm getting all this health checks done and I'm seeing other people do it, I want to do it too. And it's convenient and easy, right? So let's create a health day, and that increases your utilization in a very big way. The other thing is make it a family affair. I mean, we've learned again from our customers. They've even called in the family, the parents, because the kids want to take care of the parents. And when the parents come, they want to take care of the kids. So it's a great positive cycle. And by the way, once the parents see the lovely office that you have, they go tell the child, why are you trying to leave this company? It's a beautiful company. It's a great retention strategy. So health bhi, fun bhi, and the entire, and again, you're not necessarily paying for the parents here, but you're making it convenient enough for them to bring. I mean, imagine how difficult it is for a child to find time, take the parents to a radiology center, wait there and all of that. Now you're doing it conveniently in your office, right? So that's another thing that we found really works well. Final insight, if you're not measuring it, so the folks who have a wellness program, if you're not getting very good analytics and dashboards, showing what are the health trends, what difference has the wellness program created in the last 6 months or 12 months for you and your employees. I'm not saying individual data. Individual data belongs to the employee. But overall trends, how many people are diabetic, pre-diabetic, how many people have high lipid levels, you cannot create a better wellness program. You can't evolve your program unless you have really good analytics. So if you're still tying up with folks who are giving paper reports and no digital insights to you, you got to think of what you should be doing next. Right? So those are 5 things that I wanted to share with you today. As I said, and why is the photo missing? Okay, something's gone wrong, guys. That man is so famous. If you just look Chris Gopalakrishnan, you'll find him. So that's fine. Along with Narayan Murthy, he started Infosys many years back. You have that legendary photo of the 7 founders. He's out there. He's made some great value for everyone and for himself. And today his vision is to create this organization called Bridge Health, which I have a privilege of leading. And we are truly focused on keeping people healthy. I think the big thing, we have a lot of components in healthcare today, but the focus on trying to keep people healthy versus trying to do something after something's happened is the big difference that we have. And everything that we do, our tech stack, technology, people, is really focused towards that, and we'd love to see how we could add value to it. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir. It was a wonderful presentation. You made us understand more about health and screening of health. So I would request Mr. Arun Sundar, Director, Evoria Group, to join us on the stage to honor Mr. Karan Verma. Yes, whole team can come join us on the stage. Please come up on the stage. Thank you, Bridge Health team, for being part of our event. So, thank you, sir. Thank you, Mr. Arun Sundar.